Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 is going to take us around the 8th of March. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. And I shall get on with that for you very shortly. Just say that GWV Friday has been released. That's month-end look ahead with Japanese and CFS B2 models. So check that one out if you would like to do that. Very mixed signals for March with GWV Friday this week. So have a look at that. See what both those two models are suggesting. ECMWF 42-day forecast is going to be released around 6-ish, I would have thought, this evening. That one is going to be looking at weather into April with the extended GFS, the extended ECM. And we're going to be live streaming after 10 o'clock tonight. We'll have our final Friday night live stream for a little while. So, yeah, I shall see you live after 10 o'clock tonight for a bit of Friday night fun. Right, let's start off with the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. So let's do that, shall we? The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Norwich today. So in a mild spell at the moment, though we are having a little bit of an inversion, which means that we're having some colder nights at the minute across central parts of England with some night frost. But by day, plenty of really pleasant, warm, sort of late winter, early spring sunshine, and the upper air temperatures are above average. Now, as we go through the first week of March, we've got a bit of a cold spell appearing within the GFS ensemble. So a lot of these ensemble members are dipping down into around -8. Some of them go down to around -10 at 850 HPA. That's appreciably cold air, and quite a few between -5 and -8 as well. Not all ensemble members are doing that. Some of them are holding up around here, but it does look as though a little bit of a colder snap is appearing within the GFS ensembles now. Any time from around, say, the 4th through to the 8th of March, which is this period just here. After that, we have a lot of scatter, probably, if anything, reversing back closer to average now as we go through the second week of March. But very uncertain. This is a very uncertain period as we're going into March. March isn't particularly a month that you associate with a great deal of uncertainty, but this year, for some reason, we are seeing a lot of uncertainty in model output for March. Precipitation-wise, going to be loads of dry weather over the next few days. So if you get this colder snap appearing towards the end of next week, we may see the precipitation spikes increasing. So as it gets colder, so that might deliver some wintry weather. Don't rule out the chances of a little bit of sleet or snow in places by the end of next week and next weekend. Then into the second week of March, which is this period just here, of course, perhaps more definitive precipitation spikes then. If it starts getting milder, that is going to be rain. But I really won't be looking beyond like the end of next week. I think the end of next week into next weekend, this period just here is where we've got to be focusing on the chance anyway of a little bit of a cold snap. Temperature anomalies from the 26th of February to the 6th of March are going to be a little bit above average, a little bit mild average, not excessively so, but slightly above average with the temperature anomaly, and very dry really for most places. But GFS midnight run did bring some heavy rain to the south through the early part of next week. I'm not sure about that. And that's why the anomaly there is slightly above average for southern England. But I would have thought like quite a dry week from the 26th of February to the 6th of March is most likely. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that we're under a ridge of high pressure at the moment, so winds have fallen light, but still generally coming in from a mild direction around the ridge anyway, coming up from the southwest. Right, so this is how the UK Met is looking for Monday. High pressure is over top of the country on Monday, bringing a lot of fire weather. There will be a little bit of a trough within that low pressure, though, that could produce some showery bursts. Into Tuesday and Wednesday, the high pressure sticks around the country. Again, brings a lot of dry and fine weather with it. As you head up towards Thursday, the high pressure begins to reposition towards Iceland. So this is hinting at a little bit of retrogression. The high pressure centred across southeastern England on Wednesday. By Thursday, the high pressure is retrogressing regressing to Iceland. Having a go at pulling in the winds from a north or northeast direction. There is a cold blast plunging down into Scandinavia. That's as far as we go with the UK Met. Just perhaps poised to begin to introduce something a little bit colder from the north and the east, which presumably is what a lot of these colder ensemble members just here at the end of next week and into the weekend of like 6th, 7th of March. Presumably that's what a lot of those ensemble members are doing. Right, this is the GFS, as far as we go, UK Met. This is the GFS midnight run. Sorry about that, everybody. Low pressure over top of the country, high pressure over top of the country. Midnight on Monday, but there is a little bit of a trough within that high pressure that might produce some showery bursts. The high pressure sort of slips towards the southeast, but heights are trying to rise up towards Greenland and Iceland. That's how it looked by Thursday. Neither under high pressure or low pressure really, but heights are having a really good go. Rising towards Greenland and Iceland. Eventually we do get an area of high pressure developing there in the Norwegian Sea between Iceland and Norway. It's going to have a go at pulling in some colder air from the northeast. There's that little area of low pressure to our south that GFS midnight run wants to bring some rain into the south. But as I say, I'm not overly sure about that. But anyway, by the time you get through to weekend 6th, 7th of March, high pressure is toppling down over top of the country. And we don't quite on midnight GFS run pull in those cold temperatures from the east or the northeast. But it is a very, very close run thing. Day 10, we're under a ridge of high pressure again, looking mostly dry, probably quite chilly under that ridge, and then much more unsettled into the second week of March as low pressure comes barrelling in from off the Atlantic, producing quite a lot of rain. Actually doing southwards as well, so this isn't a particularly mild area of low pressure. In fact, it could be quite a cold area of low pressure, maybe with some hill snow in the north. Heights are rising again towards the northeast, having a go, to have so often over the past few months, having a go at raising pressures, raising heights over Scandinavia and to our northeast. This is how the 6Z GFS is looking again. High pressure dominates the weather through the early part of next week. Then we try and raise the heights to our northeast. Again, just not quite pulling off this cold air from the east or the northeast, but it is a close run thing. And temperatures do cool off through the second half of next week, but we just don't quite pull in those cold upper air temperatures from Scandinavia. On the graph, you can see that the 6Z, which is the green line just here on the upper air temperature ensemble graph, was actually one of the milder options. Many of the options are quite a lot colder than that for the end of next week into next weekend. Right, so that's where it was with the 6Z up to 192 hours. So high pressure sticks around the country up towards day 10. Probably quite a cold ridge. Could be some overnight frost in with that. And then the high pressure slips away into the second week of March. Turns much more unsettled. Low pressure in off the Atlantic, bringing spells of rain. And probably starting to turn quite cool with that as well. GM, again, high pressure is dominating the weather through the early part of next week. Gradually repositioning or trying to get towards Greenland and Iceland, trying to pull in some colder air from the east and from the northeast as well. Just a very anticyclonic signal with the GM until the very end, where the high pressure pulls out to our west, and we go into this spell of strong to gale force northwest winds and probably quite cold air coming off Greenland with a northwesterly behind an active cold front that will bring a band of heavy rain. And then the ECMWF looks like this. High pressure again dominating the weather on Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday. The high pressure repositions up towards Greenland and Iceland. It just depends how much of the high pressure we develop around Iceland, I think, through the middle of next week. The ECM has the heights up to 1,040 millibars. That's a big area of high pressure around Iceland, and it is enough to actually start pulling in cold air from the east and from the northeast. So you'll see that with the ECM, we do successfully start to dig in some properly cold air from the east and from the northeast by the time we get through to around 5th, 6th, 7th of March. This is Sunday, 7th of March. Proper cold air is digging in from the northeast. This will bring snow showers into the east on those northeasterly winds. Upper air temperatures do look a lot colder by that weekend of 6th, 7th of March. High pressure begins to slip down over the country, but not before we have introduced a -10 isotherm. Look at this, the ECM goes into the freezer a little bit by day 10, with a -10 pushing in from the east. Probably won't last much longer than that as the high pressure is toppling down over country. But the ECM does successfully pull off a proper cold snap. And on the GFS ensembles, I suspect that's what a lot of these ensemble members are doing, getting the upper air temperature down to -10. The ECM does actually pull that off and will bring snow showers into eastern parts of the country. This will be a precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run. So the emphasis is going to be on dry weather, over the next few days, definitely. By the end of next week, it is starting to turn a little bit more showery, but still a lot of fine weather on offer. And then as we run up towards day 10, we pull that cold air in from the east. So you notice wintry showers beginning to appear across eastern and northeastern parts of the country. And of course, we bring in the -10 outside, so there's no problem getting snow even in March. So as we go towards day 10, we can forget wintry showers and we're talking about snow showers coming in from the east then to day 10. Doesn't last long as the high pressure topples down over the country, but definitely a wintry flavour to this morning's ECM. I suspect it's a little bit of a cold outlier. But there we go. Winter may not be done with us. Yes, I keep saying it over and over again. You are more likely to get a white Easter than you are to get a white Christmas. These are the options number 10 within the ECM ensembles today. For day 10 gets us to the 8th of March. It's we've got 18 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure more or less over top of the country, mainly dry and fine with that. 14 with high pressure to our west and northwest. We're pulling in cold east or northeast winds. If that does include the control and the operational run. 12 with high pressure out to our west and also ridging through the country. Plenty of dry weather with that, probably quite mild. And 4 with deep low pressure over and slightly to the south of the country. That's going to be the most unsettled option. That's bringing cool air in from the north, maybe quite cold air in from the north, and will be unsettled too. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. They look more unsettled. This gets us to the 13th of March. ECM ensembles want to turn things unsettled. 19 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure through the country and bring a strong westerly wind as well. 12 with low pressure just to our west. That's going to be very unsettled too. 10 with low pressure over and to the west of the country. That's going to be unsettled. And another 10 down here with low pressure to our west, high pressure just to our east. That's going to be quite unsettled, but should be pretty mild. All options looking unsettled by the middle of March with the ECM ensembles. Finally, CFS-V2 for March. So this is the 700 millibar height anomaly for March 2021 with CFS-V2 today. And forget about unsettled weather. CFS wants to have high pressure dominating, high pressure fest for March with the CFS-V2 today. Temperature anomalies are above average. It's a milder than average month. And the precipitation anomaly, well, with high pressure in control, it is high and dry. So, yeah, significantly drier than average too. If you enjoyed this video, please go and smash your like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Around half of our viewers are not subscribed to the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel. So if you can give us a sub, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Tell your friends, family, everybody else to subscribe as well. And drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this video. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for doing that. Right, that's it for the 10 to 14 day. So it's very conflicting for March, isn't it? Really, really conflicting signals. We saw it within JMA Friday. We're seeing it within the shorter range as well. The first thing we've got to focus on is whether we get that cold air in from the northeast, like the end of next week and next weekend. We may be shifting towards probably quite a brief, no more than 2 or 3 day, but maybe quite potent cold snap. So that's the first thing to focus on, and then we focus on where we go through the rest of March. We'll be back later on with the ECMWF 42-day forecast, and then Giddy Gav will see you live for the last time, for the time being, after 10 o'clock tonight for our Friday night live stream. For this one though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.